Welcome to the next edition of the Holstein World Newscast. I'm David Jones, and here are tonight's top stories. We were able to meet up with Terry Packard of Arethusa Farms, and obviously here at World Dairy Expo they have quite the name and quite the presence. We were able to catch up with them about some of the exciting animals in their string.
I'm here with Terry Packard of Arethusa Farm. It's probably one of the more talked about show strings here at World Dairy Expo 2010 because they're doing something pretty special and pretty unique. Terry, let's learn a little bit about that.
Well, this year we have 4 full sisters in the string. They're all Stormatics out of Tri-Day Ashland. She was the Supreme Champion here in 2001 at World Dairy Expo, as well as being the Supreme Champion at the Harrisburg and Royal and Maryland State Fairs that year. So we have 4 daughters of varying ages, a variety of ownerships. We can start here on the end. This is the youngest Stormatic in our group. Audrey is a junior 2-year-old that was fresh in April. She's actually the result of IVF work on Ashland at Transova. She's bred by Kingsmill, and she's owned by the Earhart family and Ernie Kiefner. And a pair of older sisters in the middle, Ambrosia and Aphrodite, they're the reigning All-American produce of dam. And Ambrosia's twice been reserve All-American as a junior 2 and as a 4-year-old, and nominated as a 3-year-old as well. She is actually fresh 14 months, and we brought her along just to kind of finish out the group. She will compete as well as Aphrodite in the production class this week, but Aphrodite is fresh in March, and she is the one cow that's open at this point, or shortbred, but Ambrosia is bred back as well as Audrey, so we'll probably be doing some IVF work on them once they're pregnant. Moving on, the final sister is Angel, and ironically she's the result of embryos that Ernie sold years ago to Sherry Seamers, and now she's owned by Arethusa Farm. So she was All-American as a winter yearling and reserve All-American as a 2-year-old and nominated as a 4-year-old, and now is fresh again with her 3rd calf. Recently scored 95 points, so now all 3 of the older sisters are 2E95. And Angel was at the All-American in Pennsylvania last week, where she was first age cow, senior champion, grand champion, and then went on to be named Supreme Champion 9 years after her mother was. So.
The 2010 International Guernsey Show finished up today, and that was judged by Lynn Harbaugh of Wisconsin and Associate Judge Paul Trapp of Minnesota. The results are: Grand Champion went to 4 wins Mentor Highlight, exhibited by Clark and Joy Vilter of Heartland, Wisconsin. The Reserve Champion went to Stockwell Farms Reward Haley, exhibited by Tyler Page and Justin Chupp of Enola, Oklahoma. The Grand International Red and White Show also finished up today, and the Grand Champion going to Blondin Redman Seisme of Morsan Farms, and that's located in Ponoka, Alberta. The Reserve Champion went to Silvermine Advent Tally Red ET, exhibited by Milk Source Genetics of Kakana, Wisconsin. The Grand International Red and White Show was judged by Brian Cascadon of Ontario, and Associate Judge was Kim Sarabasavila of Spain. Let's take a look at the selection of the Grand Champion.
I think when it comes down to it, it gets very close for me. Our senior champion, I love her mammary system. Our intermediate champion, I love the total package that she encompasses. But you've heard me say before, what a sucker I am for a mammary system. This will be your Grand Champion cow today. And that's not to say that this is a bad udder right here, because this is one fine, fine, fine young cow. She will be your reserve champion today. For honorable mention, we'll come back to this reserve senior champion. Congratulations, Mike.
We're here ringside. Junior champion of the International Holstein Show was just announced. They are now currently setting up for the World Classic sale. But let's get to those results. Judge Brian Craswell selected his first place winner yearling, Craig Crest Ruby's Gold Rejoice, to be a junior champion for this year. Pretty special for her owners, Craig Crest Holsteins of Arthur, Ontario. She was the unanimous All-American winner calf just last year. It was really fun to see her come back into the ring. And reserve junior champion went to Rocky Mountain Goldwyn Tricia, the first place spring yearling. She was shown by Beckholm Holsteins of Sunderland, Ontario. Let's take a look as Judge Craswell makes his selection.
Currently going on in the ring behind me is set up for the World Classic sale, a notorious sale that has been going on here at the World Dairy Expo for many years. A notorious sale for the Royal Winter Fair is the Sale of Stars, and we were able to catch up with the sale managers of that sale to show us a little bit about some of the consignments this year and some of the special features.
I'm here just outside of the show ring with the sale managers for the upcoming Sale of Stars show. We're here with Paul Greaves and Don Johnson of GLJ Incorporated. Don and Paul, can you tell me a little bit about the Sale of Stars, kind of the background, and what we can look forward to this year?
Well, the Sale of Stars has been going on for decades now, and in fact I can remember as a kid hanging off the rafters in the old Fraser Pavilion at the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair, just soaking up the electricity in the air, and it's electricity that's continued for right up to today. So Don and our other partner, Simon Lalonde, who's not with us today because he's showing here at the show, we began managing the sale last year, so we're entering our second year this year. Sure. So it's going to be held in Toronto, Ontario on Thursday, November 11th at 5 p.m. It's following the junior Holstein classes, which are exhibited that afternoon, and be held at the exhibition place in Toronto, the home of the Royal for forever.
And can you tell us a little bit about the lineup that you guys have assembled? I know that it began months ago, visits on the farm across the country, North America, really.
Yeah, we're really, really excited with the lineup we have this year. We had a fantastic lineup last year that the consigners entrusted us with to sell and bring the top dollar. And this year we have some of the very elite amongst our group. We're selling, for example, the #1 heifer in Canada, genomic tested heifer. And we're ecstatic to have her in our lineup. We're selling a Goldwyn daughter of Lister Lindsay, who is grand champion at both the Ontario and Quebec spring shows this year, summer shows this year. So that's just a little tip of the iceberg of the quality that we've got coming on.
I think it's interesting that this is the only sale that we manage. This is the only one that we do. So we start after the sale was over last year. We start right away saying, okay, what are we looking for next year and through the winter and the spring, and so it's a big challenge for us. This is the only sale we manage. So 365 days of the year we put everything into it.
So just like when the cows walk out of the ring and they're focused on next year's show season, you guys are working on next year's Sale of Stars.
That's absolutely right.
And we're looking at things like cows that are at the show, here at Madison, saying, boy, we'd like to have a calf from her next year, and we start that process right away looking for the best from the best.
And you almost have to look into your crystal ball these days with genomics, this new area of marketing for the Holstein industry. What have you guys received as far as comments from potential buyers, consigners on that subject?
Well, I think it's important to note that we know that there's a wide variety of what people are interested in to buy. The Sale of Stars is meant to be a showcase and an offering of ones that can come here and come to the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair and win their class or win the show. That's the kind we're after. We often are told by the consigners, say, well, she's untouchable. And Don Johnson will say to them, that's exactly the kind we want in the Sale of Stars. That's the ones we're after. It is an elite sale. it's enjoyed a really healthy average in years past. And in fact, last year we set a sale average or a sale gross figure record for the sale, which we're pretty proud of. Sure. So it's going to be held in Toronto, Ontario on Thursday, November 11th at 5 p.m. It's following the junior Holstein classes, which are exhibited that afternoon, and be held at the exhibition place in Toronto, the home of the Royal for forever.
Transova Genetics is a name in the business that has been helping to advance several cow families here in the United States and abroad. We were able to catch up with them. As you know, they are celebrating 30 years of multiplying success. Let's take a look at that interview.
I'm here with Dr. David Faber of Transova Genetics, and here at Holstein World we're really excited about our upcoming November 2010 issue. We will be celebrating 30 years of multiplying success with Transova. We took a quick minute here. The red and white show is going on behind us, but Dr. Faber, can you tell us from that day 30 years ago to now, Transova Genetics, and your thoughts on what you guys have brought to the table and what you have planned for the future?
Well, Transova began 30 years ago doing conventional embryo transfer work, but we really had a desire and a passion to try to improve the technology because we thought the industry would reinvent itself, so to speak, and that we could bring new and exciting services to beef and dairy producers. So that's really been a drive and a passion and a desire we've had to improve the services and the technology that we could bring to beef and dairy producers. And that's really evolved today from conventional embryo transfer to in vitro fertilization, sex semen, cloning, and those type services.
Today was yet another beautiful day here at the 2010 World Dairy Expo in Madison, Wisconsin. I believe David is ready to give us the weather report. David, are you ready? Passing it off to David.
We're bringing you highlights of the weather here in Madison, Wisconsin. Currently, the weather is about 63 degrees Fahrenheit, and tomorrow it's supposed to dip down into the 50s, so make sure you bring your jacket with you. We are expecting a cold morning. It should be somewhere in the 30s, likely somewhere around 37. But now, as the globe starts to spin around, we're going to take you on a tour of the United States and kind of look at some of the weather that's currently going on. Coming up first is Florida. In Florida, we're experiencing hot and humid weather, go figure, and up in the northeast corner of New York, there is torrential rain, and they are experiencing some flash flood warnings. So if you're from New York, please be aware of that. Texas, it's warm today, 85 degrees, foggy in Seattle, and heat wave on the west coast currently. So back to you folks at the news desk. This is David Jones with the weather.
Nearing the end of our newscast this evening, always comes the exciting selection of the winner of our half-page ad in the Holstein World. Tonight's winner is Corey Lyon of Baldwin, Wisconsin, of Our Way Holsteins. Congratulations, Corey, and please stop by the Holstein World booth in the lower level of the Coliseum to receive your prize. And now, for the final portion of our newscast, the question of the day.
Chad Beering from Rush City, Minnesota. Probably my favorite cow would be Black Rose.
I'm Matt Hankus from Moena, Iowa, and I would say my favorite cow would be Hankasine M. Hillary, one of our cows, and 90% of our herd traces back to her, and also has several bulls in AI.
Hi, I'm Janet Keller from Oregon, Wisconsin. My favorite cow of all time is Brookview Tony Charity.
My name is Peter Coyne from Spring Valley, Wisconsin. Favorite cow of all time is a cow named Hanover Hill Astro Anna.
My name is Kyle Demmer. I'm from Piasta, Iowa. My favorite cow ever would have to be Snow and Denise's Della.